Welcome to Season 5. Support for the BowHunterPlanet podcast is presented by Shadow Hunter, Dead Ringer, The Grind, Bomar Archery, Element Outdoors, Reveal Cellular Camera, HHA Sports, and HHA USA, Black Eagle Arrows. Additional support provided by Deer Camp Coffee and Yeti Coolers. Hey guys, welcome to the BowHunterPlanet podcast. Today we're joined by Jeff Janis. Jeff, how are you, man?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. It's been a while, actually. So, how's life?
It's been busy. I mean, we built a new house here, so we've been moving into that. It's pretty much finished now. We got the new business up in Oscoda, so I've been a busy man.
So now, tell us, were you born and raised in Michigan?
Yeah, I was born in Tawas. I spent some time, my mom lived in Tawas. My dad lived in Oscoda, which is where our shop is. It's like 15 minutes north. So I would go to his house on the weekends, be in Tawas during the week, and went to high school and did all my schooling here in Tawas.
Nice, very cool.
Love it. And you went to college too, right? At Saginaw Valley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, yeah. It's about an hour and a half south. I know you guys are probably familiar with Saginaw. So
yeah, no, we are. We definitely. I mean, I love every college. We say here in Michigan, at least it's not Western.
Yeah.
So, good.
Well, they didn't give me a scholarship offer either, so yeah, I'm with you.
Jeff, when you played for Saginaw, did they? When you played football for them, who was your biggest rival, Grand Valley, or who would have been the biggest rival?
Yeah, Grand Valley for sure.
What years was that you were there?
Let's see, it was 2009 to 2013.
Okay.
We're young, Dave. We're young.
Yeah,
man.
sorry, I'm too old for that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget these two guys, man. They went to Grand Valley, and they came out of Stevenson High School. His name was Mike Tennessee and Joe Alls, and they were running backs, and they were just like, they ended up going to Grand Valley. And I was gonna say, I wonder if you played against them, but obviously it was many years later, many moons.
I went on a visit to Grand Valley. I mean, obviously they were really good. They didn't offer me a scholarship. They were like, well, you're not quite scholarship, material, but you could walk on. All right. And then my last visit, I went to Saginaw, and I could just tell that they saw something in me, and I really liked it there. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then, 2 years later, I'm catching the game winner on Grand Valley. So
nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling.
Little payback.
Yep, exactly.
So did you have like a favorite out of your whole career? Did you have a favorite coach that you really still, I mean, I know you probably had a lot of good ones, but did you have one that you really liked the most?
Yeah. I mean, I've had, like I said, quite a few, but I mean, my high school coach, I really liked him. And that was, when recruiting, you had to send out like a CD of all your highlights to even get noticed. And he sent them out he put a lot of work in trying to get me recruited. And, I think that's the main reason why anybody even looked at me, is because we were sending DVDs of my stuff out everywhere. Because, Tawas is really known and a hotbed for, athletes. So, I think that really helped to get me noticed. So he did a lot for me, and obviously, Saginaw Valley coaches, I saw right away when I went and did my workouts there that, their eyes kind of lit up, and they saw something in me where all my other visits, they just kind of looked at me as another kid. So, I owe those guys a lot of respect for them. And then obviously at the professional level, everybody just, all the coaches are top notch, and everybody's so cool. I mean, it was definitely a fun experience.
Yeah. So you're switching subjects a little bit. You're a hunter, right? I mean, that's why we see the deer in the back. Tell us a little bit about growing up. Like, who got you into hunting? What were your influences? Like, how did you get started hunting?
I got started hunting with my dad. He was pretty much a rifle hunter. That was it. He didn't bow hunt at all. And we just hunted state land out in the middle of nowhere. And it was, one of those areas.
So in Tawas.
It was in Oscoda. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oscoda. And it's in an area where if you see a deer, you shoot it, because you might not see another one, for the whole season. And I don't really know why I got hooked on that, because, you know, you'd see maybe one deer all year and it was like, oh, there it is, you know, and it didn't matter if it was a doe or a buck, you just shot it and yeah, we got one.
Love it.
And then one of my buddies in high school, he kind of got me into bow hunting and he gave me one of his old youth bows. It was a Darton, was way too small for me, but I shot the heck out of it, really got me into bow hunting. And then once I got my driver's license and I was able to like drive, you know, to go hunting by myself, that's when I really started getting into it, you know, having those deer 20 yards and stuff like that. That's when I was hooked from there on out.
Growing up in a place like that, though, isn't pretty much everybody a hunter? I mean, was a lot of your friends?
Pretty much. I mean, we get opening day of rifle season, you know, they close school.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much everybody up here hunts.
That, that, and I bet they salmon fish too, eh?
Oh yeah, lots of salmon fishing as well.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's how I grew up. I grew up on the other side of the state, but we were in the country, and opening day was a day off school.
Oh yeah.
But most people just gun hunted, right? Not a lot of people bow hunted. I didn't pick that up until college, actually.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what. I don't know if it's like from Saginaw down. They still have school, but I think everything north of there, they shut everything down for opening day rifle.
Nobody's gonna be there. You might as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Automatic 60 day.
So Jeff, tell us about your setup right now. What are you using for a bow and all that stuff?
This year I shot both my bucks with the Darton Maverick XT that I got from Rex. Then let's see, I just bought a Prime Black 3. Just wanted to test it out, see what it's gonna do. Not sure what I'm gonna use next year yet, but I actually did talk to Ted tonight just because I knew you guys were Darton guys too. So
Did you get some pickles?
sounds like some pretty exciting stuff going on over there at Darton.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really exciting actually to hear all that's going on around there with the buyout and all that stuff. So it's,
I mean,
Hale is like, the factory is like 10-15 minutes away from my house, you know. So
wow.
he said that they're, you know, looking to hire more people, and I know, you know, they didn't do much marketing before, so I think getting the name out there now with the switch, I think it's going to bring a lot more buzz to Darton.
Yeah, I think this was I don't want to say an airbag, but it was this is definitely going to help Darton dramatically.
Yeah, for sure.
Not only will Randy bring, you know, new marketing to them, but money, funding, you know, getting in front of all the Black Eagle people. I mean, it's literally a game changer in my mind. So hopefully, this, you know, he needs about a year to turn it, you know, the way he needs it. Cause we did ask those questions, you know, when can we expect new bows? When can, you know,
right.
So it's going to take them about a year just to get their feet wet and get moving. But it sounds like they're going to do a couple crossbow things this year, and then work towards new compounds next year. But it's much needed for Darton. I mean, most of these companies are putting out new bows every single year, and it's constant, you know, and it's always something that looks sick. And, you know, I mean, you've seen it, you just bought a G5, right? I mean, you're looking at different, you know, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I mean, Hoyt did some cool stuff this year, and Matthews and Bowtech. So there's so much going on that to stick it out in this industry, in my opinion, you have to, first off, you have to be doing marketing. I mean, there's no doubt about that. That's a number one. And they stopped doing that years ago. They really started cutting back. So this was, like, in my opinion, the best thing that could have happened to Darton. And going, I
gotta say, I mean, after talking to Randy is one of those guys, like the news hit the wires, right? The day that they announced everything, everybody was picking up on it. Dave gave Randy a call and was like, hey, do you mind, you know, jumping on a podcast real quick? And, you know, 2 hours later, Randy sitting there talking to us about what's going on, what his plans are, and what a phenomenal guy to be able to lead that organization. I mean, Darton has been such a, you know, well-known company. And like Dave said, they kind of dropped off the wire in regards to their marketing and all that kind of stuff. And to see Randy come in there and the opportunity that he has to really take them to the next level is super exciting.
Yeah, the thing about it too is, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if more people shot a Darton and got it in their hand, I think that alone. I mean, when I was in Green Bay, I had the 3800. I bought a Hoyt Carbon Spider Turbo because I wanted to make a fast bow. I had the Matthews No Cam, and you know, I'm tinkering with arrows and shooting them through chronos, and dude, the Darton was blowing everything out of the water. It was faster than the Spider, you know, the turbo cams. I'm like, and I had 80-pound limbs on it. I'm like, what the heck?
That's what I was gonna say. Is the thing about it is Darton has always had the quality. If they had just marketed the right way, they would be. I mean, once people start seeing what their company does and everything, it's gonna take off.
The 600, which I think was now the Demon or whatnot, or 700, somewhere in there. But that bow, I'll never forget it because it was like a pocket rocket and it was so powerful and so fast. And no one, I think, had any idea that their cam systems could do what they could do. And they were like, powerhouse dual cam, just boom, every shot is just. And that's one thing I'll never forget about Darton. And looking forward to getting back to playing with that again, to be honest, is just that mentality of a bow that's so hard hitting and so fast, so quick. Be right up with any bow, if not, like you said, beating bows that are even, more weight, it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd never even really had any tuning issues or nothing. It was like, I would set it up, shoot it through paper, and it's like, oh, okay. That's cool.
It's awesome.
Well, the other thing too is their crossbows have been awesome. I killed my first bear with that crossbow of theirs, and man, it smoked it.
So Jeff, tell us about your go-to broadhead. Like, what do you like the best, mechanical, fixed, and what brands?
Yeah, I kind of go back and forth all the time. Like, I'm gonna go back to a fixed. But like this year, I shot both my deer with the Trypan. I was using a heavy arrow. Man, it just blew right through them, and buried it in the dirt. And I'm like, why fix it if it's not broken? So I'm like, gosh dang, it's so hard to. But I think this year I'm gonna try those Muzzy hybrids. I have some. I'm like, you know what, I want to try them just to see. So I like to try new stuff. I shot my one buck in the UP with Levi Morgan Schwacker. Worked really well. So I'd like to try a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's fun to change them up. Like it's really weird because like I'll have like when I was in Texas hunting, I shot 4 deer with the same broadhead, not the same, but the same model. And then last year I shot a deer with the same broadhead, and I hit it weird, and I hit it too high and too steep, and it didn't do much of anything. It was the weirdest thing. And I was thinking the same thing you're thinking. It's like, oh, why change it if it works, right? But then I changed it, and then the new one worked like really good. And I started thinking about it, and I'm like, it really comes down to the shot. Like, you really need to wait for a nice broadside shot that's, I don't want to say level, but leveling shot, not like a steep angle shot. And I felt like I learned a lot this year from that. And we need to work on a video on that, guys. I keep forgetting to do that, but that steep angle stuff is tricky. You can't aim in the normal spots. And I made that mistake, and it hit behind the shoulder, but it hit that top rib cage, and it just, never seen anything like it. I'm like, what?
Actually, this deer right behind me right here, the one that I shot in Wisconsin, that was 12 yards. Like straight down with a rage, and obviously worked, but I'm pulling 70 pounds, and I'm thinking that my arrow is buried in the mud, and turns out that it never even exited. The whole arrow was stuck inside him. He ran 500 whatever yards and piled up, but I was like you were saying, it's like a straight down shot, and you just don't really know sometimes with those expandables what they're going to do once they're hitting ribs at weird angles.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually in this this fixed blade thing right now, and I don't usually do this. I've always been a mechanical person, and this past couple hunts I killed, I used the Muzzy 1 solid head, and it was incredible. So it's kind of like the Montec, and it is a solid piece of equipment. It works really well. I haven't had any issues. I shot out of a crossbows dead on. I shot out of a compound, killed the deer, no problem. So this year, and since we do BHP, I kind of always feel like I have to change anyway. It's like, testing's kind of what we do. So it's like, I don't really let any of the guys keep anything too long. It's always like every year it's a different bow. Sometimes it's a new bow in 6 months. So they do like a 6-month rotation, spring turkey's a different bow than fall. But because we just want to get more of products in the field. It's one thing if you just use the same thing over and over, but that does no justice or helps anybody. So anyway, what I was getting to though is I just got the phone with Dead Ringer earlier today, and they have a fixed head that's a solid piece as well. And I was looking at that, and I'm like, wow, that actually looks really nice. And we had this same conversation. I went through all the different heads I've used, and they're like, you got to try it. I'm telling you, it'll work. And I'm like, sold, let's try it. I'm like, works for me. I mean, like I said, I trust anything that's machine like that, where it's a solid piece. I'm good with it. I would like to see it, in flight, just to make sure there's no planing or issues of that nature. But another cool one we play with this year, that I recommend you playing with as well, is the Thorn Crown. It's like a rose bush. This thing is vicious as vicious gets.
Crazy.
They did it where you have this tip, and then there's little blades, bigger, all the way back, and they're twisted.
Like a Christmas tree almost.
Yes. Oh. And it's vicious. We shot it through a ballistics gel, and it like cored out a hole. Like it's intense. It's intense.
Yeah, I'd like to see how that flies at 60 yards.
Now they said this is, I haven't tested it for 60 yards. They said that originally they designed it, they shot at 60 yards and it went crazy. And they're like, oh, man, it's not going to work. So they started re-engineering. And that's why the blades are different sizes all the way back. They said when they did it that way, they said, now it's fine. It like flies perfect. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to test this still, but either way, it makes sense to me the way they explained it,
Yeah, of course. It makes sense when they explain it.
Take my money.
Oh, I like you, Jeff. I like you.
We have to start doing that episode, the Jeff Report.
So Jeff, tell us what you've been up to lately, man. You is the right term retired from the NFL? Is that the right term? You retired from the NFL?
I'm just a retired old man now. I just hang out and I don't do anything.
No more working out. It's all over.
I know what that's like.
Yeah. No, so we're going on 2 years now. I grew up working at an auto shop, changing tires and oil at one of my uncle's shop. And he actually owned 3 of them at the time. And then I'd been done playing. I wasn't playing for about a year. And he asked me if I'd be interested in buying a shop and running it. And I was like, well, it was looking like, I was done playing football because I wasn't really interested in flying around and trying out and living out of a hotel. I got 2 little kids and married, and just didn't really interest me. Seeing the business side of the NFL, I was like, nah, I know how that's pretty much going to end up. Yeah. So we bought the shop, been fixing it up. I got a great group of guys. We've been busy as heck. Everybody's super positive, been able to help a lot of people out every day. So I'm loving it.
Cool. What's the name of it?
Janis Tire and Auto.
Awesome.
Listen, Jeff, I need a little help with something. It's called the Lions. So if you could just drive down here and apply, the Ford family will hire you. I mean, you could do something. Jesus, save this team, Jeff.
Yeah, they need more help than I could give.
Hey, what are the odds since Stafford's leaving that we're going to get Green Bay's quarterback?
Oh man, wouldn't that be something? That would be incredible.
Who knows? We need something though.
I don't know if he would be well received after being a cheesehead, but
Yeah,
he would be.
Speaking of that, situation going to Minnesota, it's like, ooh man, that's a bold move.
Did Brady and his ex-coach there, did they part on bad ways?
I'm not sure. I don't really watch too much TV anymore.
Come on, man. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just curious if anybody knew, because I saw some article today. It said something like the guy had, I guess, I don't know that guy's name. I don't remember his name, but I guess he's got a lot explained to do to the family who owns the company, or owns them, based on the fact that Brady's going to the championship.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many rumors that I just like, meh.
So I think I don't remember the show. I think so with sports like that, Jeff, I never realized the business side of sports. Like, I guess I just, as a normal consumer doesn't play, I played sports in high school, whatever, but since I don't know the business, I never realized the way it really is until they had that show on HBO, which went behind the scenes. I forgot the name of it.
Hard Knocks.
And then I'm like, this is what it's like on a football team. And then it dawned on me that I'm like, this isn't really as fun as I thought it was anymore, because now it's just a business. Like it's literally a business. They can care less about anybody. It's like, I mean, unless you're Brady or somebody at the very highest level, it's like you're just a number. And if you don't catch 4 catches that they wanted, you're out. I mean, it looks so weird to me, just so strange.
Yeah, it's very competitive because you have so many kids trying to make it to that level. And I was a 7th round draft pick, so nothing was guaranteed for me. I had to make the team every single year. And even when I would come home, people would read the news or whatever about me getting drafted, signing a 4-year contract that, oh, you're there for 4 years guaranteed. I'm like, no, they can get rid of you at any given second. Like there's guys that I would, come in and they, you'd see one of the workers from upstairs go tap him on the shoulder and it's like, hey, bring your playbook. It's like, oh man. And I mean, you literally don't know if you're going to have a job every single day. And
that's crazy.
So from a nerves perspective, when you look back at draft day versus buck fever, which one's worse?
Man, buck fever is so hard to imitate. It is, it is ridiculous, and draft day for me was kind of drawn out because I was projected anywhere from the 3rd to 7th round. And I actually ended up going in the 7th because there was just so many receivers in my draft class that it was crazy. So by the time the 7th round came, was kind of like, okay, come on, what's going to happen here?
Yeah. What's it? What was it? Do you remember or recall a time, or, I mean, you probably have at least one in your memory. But I guess playing college ball to go into NFL, when you got hit in the NFL, were you like getting hit? Was it like the worst hit you could imagine? Or was it like not as bad as you thought it'd be, I guess, from college?
It's not as bad other than the fact that those guys that in the NFL, like the D linemen and stuff, they are like almost as fast as you are. So anytime you slow down or try to make a cut or something, those dudes are coming after you. And I mean, the one time I made like one little stutter step, cut back, whatever, and all of a sudden just got nailed by a D lineman. And I'm like, okay, that's different.
That's what that's like.
Yeah.
Those guys are huge, man. I was watching the game the other day and I was like, man, look how big that lineman is. He's like 6'6", like 700 pounds. Like,
and they're running like 4 or 5 40s. It's like stupid.
Crazy. Those guys are huge, man.
Yep.
So big. Was there anybody you played with that you were just like kind of, I don't want to say starstruck, but felt like, oh man, I can't believe I'm on the field with this guy?
I mean, pretty much my first meeting I had in Green Bay, like Jordy Nelson came walking in and I'm just like, there he is. When I see like Aaron and Clay Matthews like walking by me, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing here? Like this is just insane.
That's cool though.
And then, I mean, the more you're around them, you just realize that they're just normal dudes that are good at playing football. I mean,
Did they haze you at all?
There was a little bit of hazing. I mean, nothing crazy. Like we would have to buy meals and, just if you're going on an away game, we would be expected. The rookies would have to buy like the food and carry it onto the plane and stupid stuff like that. But the Packers were pretty laid back. They didn't cut our hair or anything crazy. I mean,
that sounds a lot like what Dave makes us do.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes, Rogers makes enough money. He should be buying for you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what the heck? We get stuck with the bill at dinner. It's like, dude, you guys are the ones making all the money, and I'm just a rookie.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Jeff, how many of them guys did you get into hunting?
Oh, I would try to ask as many people as I could. I took Brett Hundley hunting. He shot his first deer with me.
Nice.
Clay Matthews, he's actually really getting into it. He's still a rookie at it, but I mean, he's super interested in it. So that was cool to see. There were some other guys like Corey Lindsley. He would always ask me questions about it. He does a little bit of bow hunting. There was a lot of guys I tried to get Aaron into it, but he was like, nah, just not into it.
Anybody that didn't hunt at all and got talking to him and you got him into it, like?
Trying to think here. So the problem is like football season is
right in the middle.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that.
When you're like so focused on doing your job right in the NFL, it's really tough to sway somebody into doing it. Where me, like I was already super into hunting, so like every off day I'm like out there and like doing as much hunting as I could. So it is kind of tough to get someone to start during football season.
Yeah. So when you did hunt during season, was it primarily in Wisconsin?
Yeah. So I pretty much only hunted in Wisconsin during season because we would have, we'd have Tuesdays off. So I would pretty much use my off day to go hunt.
Awesome. And then when growing up, so you grew up in Michigan hunted
Yep.
Wisconsin. Have you noticed a big difference between Wisconsin hunting versus Michigan, other than deer size, of course, because the Michigan deer that you showed us are right in range, not the ones behind you, of course.
Yeah. Well, I think I looked this up at one point. I think when I looked it up, there was Michigan has twice as many hunters as they do deer, and Wisconsin is the opposite. There's twice as many deer as there are hunters. So, I mean, I think that alone really helps. But, I mean, I felt like in Wisconsin, if you shoot something smaller than a 140, they're kind of like, well, why'd you shoot that, And here, it's like, if you shoot a 140 here, it's like, oh, my God, we got the biggest deer ever. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to Disney World.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
Jeff,
interesting. It's interesting to me, like I've talked to the guys at Realtree a lot, and they're friends with a lot of Luke Bryan and a lot of these guys who are these really big people. But it's interesting when you talk to them, because I always ask the questions to Tyler and them. It's like, hey, who do you guys hunt with, or who do you hang out with and stuff? And it's like crazy the amount of land that they can hunt because they're friends with them. Yeah. So they have I think the one guy is 15,000 acres or something. I think it's Blake Shelton.
Yeah, in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like, what? And it's like, oh yeah, come out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what in the heck? I'm like,
I'll be happy with 15 acres.
Where's my invite? Hey, Tyler, call me.
Yeah.
No, do you own your own hunting land in Michigan, or what are you doing in Michigan for hunting?
Yeah, so my father-in-law, he has 240 acres, so I've pretty much been hunting with him on that right down the road from our house. It's a pretty good spot for Michigan. We usually pull 4 or 5 8 points off of it every year. So
awesome.
Yeah, it is a pretty good area to hunt. But I've been trying to look for some place down south, in Hillsdale County area, try and get a lease or something down there. But man, everything's taken up down there.
For sure.
You guys put food plots out or anything? Do you do food plots?
Oh yeah. Yep. I really got into food plots towards my time in Green Bay. I got hooked up with Doug Kostreva from Horny Buckseed. Super nice guy, got me really into food plots. So I love doing that now too. I mean, just everything, the whole work with the tractor. I mean, everything. I love it.
Me too. I'm finding that's more fun than even hunting sometimes.
Yeah, almost just watching what you plant grow. Yeah. I mean, it kind of sounds stupid, but it is
I
fun.
love it. Yeah, I learned how to drive a tractor. I'm like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah. I love a little bit of tractor time.
So how has COVID been for you, man? I mean, it's been, everybody, these lockdown orders here in Michigan, company been surviving okay? And what have you been up to during COVID?
Yeah, I mean, we're considered an essential business, because we have mechanics and whatnot. So, we're super blessed because it hasn't really affected us at all. If
awesome.
Not, I mean, we've just been super busy. I don't know if people have been putting their time off to, not get their car fixed, and now they have time, so they're like, let's do it. Because man, it's been crazy, which is it's a good thing for us. But I know there's a lot of small businesses up here that they can't say the same. So
no doubt, our heart goes out to all of them, man. It's not easy here to really restrict your business. It's not. I mean, for a month is one thing, but for going on almost a full year now, it's it sucks, man, for sure. So so 2021, so we're past 2020, thank God. Coming up in 2021, you got any hunts planned coming up, or what are your plans for the season this year?
Yep. I'll probably go back to Kansas again. I'm trying to make that a routinely yearly thing. I have a hunt booked in Kentucky for the opener that week with one of my buddies I played with in Green Bay. He's from that same area. So I'm going to go down there, see if I can get a velvet buck. That'd be my first
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So as of right now, just those two places, but you never know. One of my other buddies is really big into hunting, and this year he was like, we were done hunting. He's like, you want to go to Ohio? I'm like, sure.
Love it. Those Ohio bucks, man, they're worth it for sure.
Yeah.
So what about turkey? You guys, because you're big turkey country up there, right?
Yeah, we got lots of turkeys up here.
Yeah, you do any spring turkey hunting?
I got into it really, in Green Bay, and then once I got back home, and it's kind of different here. You got to apply for your tag and yada yada. Where Wisconsin was, I feel like it was a little bit easier, but I did apply this year, so I'm probably gonna hit it this spring and see what I can do.
Awesome.
Hey, Jeff, you ever been out to South Dakota or out west?
Yeah, actually, I got a couple nice sets of sheds here on the wall from South Dakota, and some big old perch that I caught out there.
Yeah, now's the time to do it when you're young and in shape. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't do like me when I waited a couple years ago. I was like, oh my God, this is hard.
Yeah, lots of wide open space out there.
Yeah. And you're either walking up or you're walking down. There's nothing flat where I was hunting.
Yeah. Yeah, the hills of Buffalo County, that'll get you ready for anything.
What's your dream hunt?
I'd say I want to do a moose hunt somewhere. I don't know where, but I think a moose hunt, that's kind of my bucket list type of hunt.
With a bow?
Oh, of course, yeah. I want to get about 10 yards from a big old moose.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was looking at where your shop's at, Jeff. That's what I was looking up on my left here. And Kevin and I got friends that they actually sold their house, but they had a house right on 23 there off of 23 on the right, to the east side there on the water. And anyway, so we spent a lot of time there. But a little tidbit, actually, Kevin is really good friends with the family who owns G's Pizzeria for years since he was a kid. Yeah. It's so we always stop at G's when we're up there in that region. It's so funny.
Yep. It's a pretty popular pizza place around here.
Have you ever been to the one in West Branch?
No, I haven't. I drove by it a million times, but never actually been there.
Next time you drive by it, you got to stop in there. So,
the bear.
The G's Pizzeria is owned by the Gallia family, and the brothers all own different ones. Like the one in West Branch is owned by Chris, and he's a huge hunter. Okay. And he's got a bear in there that he got off of Kodiak Island. That was at the time the largest bear taken off of Kodiak Island, and it's just phenomenal.
Dang. Okay.
It's a full mount encased in glass, and the thing stands like if it was standing up, it'd be over 13 feet tall. It's just it's incredible. And if Chris is there, tell him to tell you the story because he almost died getting it. But
oh, jeez.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing hunt story.
So if you, how I gonna have you? I know you have. If you haven't, I'd be very surprised. But how often do you go to Northwoods, and have you gotten your kayak with your free oars yet?
Man, Northwoods is a freaking madhouse. It's like Walmart. I try to not even go there anymore because it's just like so many people. It's like, holy cow. It's kind of funny though. He has like a big garage warehouse in Tawas, and I drove by it one day with the door open, and it was just stuffed full of kayaks, as many as kayaks as you can get in there.
Wow.
I love it, man. That place is I hunt with a buddy of ours at a property just north of Mayo, just north of Fairview. And, we had up 75, up 33. And every time, man, as soon as we pass that, 181, we take it to the right, and we got to hit up Northwoods for at least a little bit. So
every time.
Oh, there's the bear.
Holy cow.
Check that bad boy out.
Holy cow. I didn't know you had a picture of it.
Yeah.
We should have him on the podcast to tell the story.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
The heck? I didn't know you had a photo of this thing.
Yeah,
it's a good story.
Jeff, how old are your kids, man?
Carter is 3, and Peyton, my youngest, she is 1.5 years now.
And either one of them been out with you at all hunting?
No, not yet. Man, I don't know if they could stay quiet enough.
No,
I get it. I don't think ours was what, about 7 or 8 before we started taking them out. Connor shot his first year, the first year.
They weren't very quiet though.
No, but it was 7 years old when he did his first one. But those years are coming, man, for sure.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. I mean, he has like a little Nerf bow that I'll be down here in the basement shooting my bow, and he's always grabbing his. He stays behind me. All right, can I go get my arrows? I'm like, yep, go ahead.
I love it.
Yeah, we've been playing. There's a little fun thing called the Desire from Bear Archery. It's a little crossbow. It's real small. It's like a little handheld one. Obviously, a lot of safety with it, but it's actually fun with the kids. They love that thing. It's a
This
lot.
one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Little guy.
Got a red dot on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's,
No joke
I'm
though.
not
It still
shoot
shoots
balloons.
what 180 feet per second.
Oh, it's pretty.
Decent damage.
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's fun though. We also got a blowgun from Cold Steel, which we can use that air gun, whatever.
Didn't you tried to shoot me with that once?
No, that wasn't that.
I don't know
Oh,
how
did
safe
shoot
that
you
is
that.
with COVID now. We can't all use it. We have to clean it every time.
It has three different. Yeah, good point. It has three different heads. It has a plastic head, one that you can shoot at Tim's butt. It has a little tip, like a needle, and then it has an actual freaking broadhead built into it. There's three different options. It's crazy.
What are your guys' thoughts on the air bows?
So air bow is interesting to me. I was very disappointed actually when Michigan didn't legalize it for at least for the gun season. I felt like why not? But I am a firm believer in technology, and I feel like if you don't let people use the air bow, if you don't support Crossman with the air bow, it's like saying don't come up with any new tech, forget about it. We just want an old traditional bow. Walk away. I mean, literally, that's what the industry is saying. If we can't approve something that's going to help somebody, I mean, it makes no sense. As far as like using in bow season, I mean, probably not. I understand it's basically shooting air, which would be, it's like a BB gun or I guess a gun in some case. Don't get me wrong. Do I want to use an archery season? Sure, I'd use an archery season, but I understand why people won't allow that. I get that part.
Have you ever shot one?
We have three of them.
We still got one. Yeah.
We have three of them. It's awesome.
Yeah, I did a video with one with Ted's holdover. He's kind of like a famous air gun guy. We made a pretty cool video because I got one from Crossman when they came out with it, and man, I was so shocked at what that thing could do. I mean, it's so easy. Like me being a receiver using my hands and everything to cock a crossbow and stuff. I'm like loading it like, please don't rip my finger off.
Yeah.
With that thing, I'm like slide it in, cock it, dunk.
Genius.
Man, this is sweet.
400 feet per second too. So it's killing anything. I mean, literally, I don't know. I really hope that it might take a couple more years. I just hope Crossman doesn't give up in the meantime. Right. And that's my only fear is like, please don't not sell it, cause it will, once it's legal, it will sell like hotcakes. I mean, it is priced right. Crossbows nowadays, $2,000 and up is getting normal in the crossbow market. So their crossbow, I believe that air gun was 1,400 at the time. And I don't know if it still is, but I mean, there is so much option there. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do a new video on that bow because I think it's not getting enough play. I think we need to rejuvenate that bow because it's interesting. Now with Raven kind of running the marketing for Crossman and Center Point, I'll be curious to see if they decide to take that different direction. Because now with their new crossbow at 500 feet per second, things are getting interesting very fast. Right?
Well, that's what I was going to say. It is going to be very interesting as the crossbow industry kind of evolves here, because one of the arguments that was made against Crossman was the speed that it was throwing the bolts out at, or the arrows. I don't even know what they call them in an airbow. One of the arguments was how fast it was shooting. Well, now you got these crossbows like Raven, who just launched a 500 feet per second crossbow that's right in line with what the airbow is doing. What's the argument now on that? So I'm a firm believer, and I'm a crossbow guy, so don't get me wrong. I don't really do a lot of compound or anything like that, but I'm one of those guys. Like I realize in the industry, there's a generation that's kind of falling off, right? The younger generation isn't really coming into bow hunting as much as what the older generation does. And so we have a shrinking population of hunter overall. There's still a lot of hunters in Michigan, don't get me wrong, but just overall, there's a shrinking population of hunters. And for that technology to come out and really maybe pique the interest of somebody that's never hunted before, I think that to me is worth it in and of itself, because we need to keep the tradition alive, sustainability, conservation, being out in the field, and, any technology that can do that, to me, I think is just beneficial to the industry as a whole.
On their website, it's $900.
That's crazy.
Really?
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
cheaper
and
than
like-
most mid-range crossbows.
I just
Right.
hope that. Well, I hope it's not $900 because they just sold them out and then they're done. You know, I hope
Yeah.
that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, mine was shooting 470 feet per second, you know, and
Wow.
that was like 6 consistent shots, all right
Holy
about the
cow.
same. And, I mean, the grouping on it was insane. I shot offhand, just standing holding. I shot an apple off of the head of like a dummy at 60 yards. I was
That's
just
awesome, man.
wow.
holy
That's fun.
cow, that is
Awesome.
crazy.
Well, who was that? One of them guys took a water buffalo down. with that.
Shocky.
Shocky, yeah. He
Yeah.
took a water buffalo down.
That's when it came out.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. They're powerful, that's for sure. So
No doubt. Well, hey man, when this COVID stuff all settles down, you got to travel maybe a little bit farther south. When we get back in the studio, we can do a podcast with all of us in the same room potentially at some
yeah,
point.
no kidding. That'd be weird, right?
Test that video. We're gonna test those broadheads.
There we go. I like it.
We're gonna break some stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to
bring it
shoot
home.
if you want to shoot Kevin's wall, it's all yours too. All
Yeah.
good.
Nobody shot the wall in about a year or so.
Kevin's
Yeah,
not
it's
gone
cool.
yet. He leaves
A
soon.
year.
Yeah. It happens every time I go to Florida, which I'm leaving pretty soon. So I'll probably come back with a couple more holes in my wall.
Yeah, my house is brand new. I've already got a few behind the target there. It's like, oh, whoops! I've been trying.
I just move the target over a little bit.
So you got a brand new house. What's this room you're in here? You got a special
Yeah, so I had in the basement. We have like half the basement's finished, and then half of it's mechanical, and then right off the mechanical room, I can come down the stairs from the garage straight into this room where all my hunting stuff is, clothes and boots.
Oh,
and,
that's a good idea.
nice.
all that good stuff. So I don't have to walk through the house and keep the dog.
Get yelled at.
I think we gotta
Very
get Jeff a BHP sticker back there. I don't see any BHP stuff behind him.
Oh, I got no HP stuff, man.
Yep.
We'll have to send a care package.
Package coming.
Right.
Hey Dave, check
All
this out.
Oh, nice job, Kevin. Awesome. We're working on a video for these. It's these mounts, Woodhaven. And I asked Kevin to see if he could start doing some mounts with it, but that's awesome. That really came out
That
good.
looks like the ones I bought off Amazon a couple years ago.
It might be. Might
Yeah,
be.
I got something similar. It's got like my picture on it and everything.
Is
Does it really? That's
Kevin?
cool.
Yeah, this one has some that they have a picture too. Yeah. Let's see the one you did.
Mine's got a little turkey picture on it.
The
Oh,
beard fell
yeah.
off.
The
I know.
yeah,
I just took the beard off, but yeah, it's got like a little picture and everything.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, they come with something to hang the spurs on and the beard.
Yeah.
Actually, I knocked the beard off.
You didn't give me a beard, Dave, so there's no beard on this one.
yeah, no, I know. Yep.
Is that the beard you lost?
Hey now, watch it.
Tim will cut a piece of his beard off and we're good to go.
There
Only
you go.
for you, man. You got to promise to put it in a locket and always wear it.
Jeff Janis, thanks, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. It's a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. Good talking to you guys.
Extra clip.
I was gonna
Alright,
say
cool.
those don't look like Michigan deer behind you.
No,
English
I
cow
don't think any of those are, except for the corner roast here. He's a public land. That was one of my dad's.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
I could probably show you the.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, those are the Michigan.
Yeah,
cows
yeah.
right there.
There you go.
I gotta cut that
I
in.
know how that is.
I gotta tell you, that last take was even better than the first.